How to move on from someone you still want. I think one of the hardest things to accept is that you can't make someone want you. Like, you can be there for them, you can make them laugh, you can just be your best self, but they still won't have the same feelings that you do for them. That hurts because it makes you feel like there's something wrong with you. Like, you don't look good enough, or you should be more confident, or like maybe if you like texted her differently. But sometimes it isn't about you being enough. Maybe that person isn't just for you. And I know that sounds like something people say when they don't know what to say, but it's true. Because if you have to constantly convince someone to see your value, they probably aren't seeing you in the way you're supposed to be seen, and they probably aren't the person for you. I think people just get attached to the potential of love more than the actual person because, like, you know, in the beginning when you're talking to somebody, it starts off as like a part time thing. Like, the curtains get revealed more when you are in a long term relationship, obviously, and you create this whole future with this person, and you imagine her like in this future, late night drives, hanging out, just everything being perfect, even though you don't actually know how it would be like if you had a full committed relationship with that person. And when that doesn't happen, you're not only just losing her, but you're losing the future that you created in your head. And that's why it feels so hard to move on from somebody you never really had, because like a part of you saw that perfect world, and what made you happy with that person is not there anymore. So it's really hard. You can try to keep thinking there has to be like one more chance, one more thing you can say to make her understand or make them understand how you feel. But the closure doesn't always come from them. Sometimes it just comes from accepting what they already gave you, even if they never said it to you directly. Like, you should know if the person really likes you the way how you like them back, and I think you could tell that. I think moving on is when you still care about somebody, but you stop sacrificing your own peace for them. Like, if you're always checking their story, checking their location, checking their reposts, and making your day depend on whether they text you back or, snap you back. And that's not because you just don't want them, it's because you realize wanting somebody isn't enough of a reason to, stop focusing on yourself. Because if you're worried about them and letting them dictate your day, and if they're not snapping you or texting you back and you get put in a bad mood because of that, that's ruining your whole day and you're forgetting about yourself. You shouldn't let them dictate your whole day into a bad day. You should just be really caring about yourself and just, focusing on yourself. So you should focus on yourself, like try to get more money, go to the gym, but don't do it out of spite or revenge to try to like show them like you get a better physique and you're just trying to like flex that for her or for the person. Then it was never about you bettering yourself, it was about you bettering yourself for them, which is really you still in the loop of all of it. You have to do it because you deserve a happy life when nobody's texting you, because eventually she'll come back in your life naturally, or you'll just find another person that made you realize you should have never been acting like this over somebody, and somebody that makes you feel wanted and chooses you for you. I hear some examples I feel like you hear a lot from older people. They're like, what's your biggest regret in life? And you hear it, they're always like, oh yeah, if I would have talked to Becky so and so this, if only I would have done this. Not talking to that one person is their regret. But you never, like, it's never guaranteed, and you never know, like, that other person that they were plotting on and stuff is happily married and, you know, has their own happy life, and they lost themselves, and they were so stuck up on that person that they are still thinking about that as their biggest regret 50, 60 years later, 40, 60, 50 years later, and it's completely consumed them. It made them like, that's not a happy life. You should just, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, like, they forgot about themselves, and they're still stuck up on this person from 40 years ago that the perfect version of them they had was just in their head. That person doesn't exist. That perfect person of whoever they were imagining doesn't exist, but they're still so hung up on that, if they would have talked to them and if they would have done this, that's their biggest regret in life. And that's, that's not the way I think it should be, because that just makes me feel sad for the situation, and shows that, like, they're sad about it still, which is not good. I don't like people being sad and stuff, So, well, another example would actually be with me in my life. Well, I met this girl like a month ago. I really liked her, and I really like this girl, and I was thinking about like our future and stuff, trying to plan dates, do this, do that. I would check all of her reposts, check her story, check her snap score, how long I've been undelivered, and it would really affect my peace, and in a negative way. And I had to realize, like, yeah, I told her my feelings towards her, and I just had to realize, I can't force her to have the same feelings for me, and if she does, I would have seen that by now. So I just have to let this go and move on to the next. Like, I'm also 18. I'm going to college soon, so I have many more girls friends I'm gonna meet. So I know, like, it clicked. I can't really be stuck up on her, and I had to focus on myself, and for my future. And I'll realize that she wasn't the one, or if she is, then she'll come back into my life naturally. So I also fall victim to the same topic of this video, so I'm sure many of you guys do too. But something I something I feel like we all have to go through, and something that'll teach us a good life lesson. That's it.